Hi there, Maureen from Color Me Positive PLR, and Lynn in our Facebook group asked if I could show you how to create a horizontal coloring book. I'm going to do it in PowerPoint because I figure most of you have PowerPoint rather than Photoshop, so I'll do it in here. So what you want to do is just start a new file, like go to File and New, and just pick Blank Presentation. And this is what will come up. So what we want to do first is put in our first image of the cityscape from, let's do Amsterdam. Okay. And there we have a horizontal image, right? But now you want to make it so this is 11 inches by 8.5 inches. So let's go to our custom slide size. And we're going to do width 11, 8.5. And that'll be see its landscape here. And just click OK. I'm going to put Ensure Fit. And there we have it. Now, the images that you get in the Cityscapes coloring pack is not 11 by 8.5. I think it's like 26 or 13 or whatever, but they're really high quality. What I would do with this as a coloring book, because this is going to be for adults, it's not going to be for kids really, right? So this is Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Now I'm going to move that down a little bit, and I'm going to insert a text box up here and put in Amsterdam. Let's see. Okay, click on that, and I want it to be in the middle, right? And I want a different font. Let me see. I like this for a country. And then just make it as big as you like. I'm going to make it 80. Okay, so the thing here is this is going to be a full bleed coloring page. So when you upload it, you have to make sure it's a full bleed size, right? Even though this isn't touching the very edge, these parts are. Now this would normally be our top here and our bottom here if we were doing a vertical coloring page, but this is horizontal. So we'll just leave it like that, and I want to leave some space here, even though I could put it here if it's a full bleed. I don't want to, because this, if you're doing it for KDP, that's going to be right up in the fold, right? So it's not, you're not going to see it very well. So leave at least that much space there. And now I want to put down here another text. I want to put a fun fact about Amsterdam. This is what I would do with these pages. Especially for adults, it's kind of cool. So I've already got a fun fact. Did you know that if you pass away in Amsterdam but don't have any family, friends, or acquaintances, then a poet will write a poem and recite it at your funeral? And I know this is true because I have a friend who lives in Amsterdam, and I checked to make sure. She says it's a very old custom, and she doesn't know of anybody who's actually had that done, because everybody she knows that has passed away has some family, friends, or at least an acquaintance, right? But that's a pretty cool fact. So for me, this makes an awesome coloring page for adults, right? So now you can do that, and then just continue with each page that you have for the different countries. Find a fun fact about them, put that down there, okay? And then you would save this as a file, a PDF file to upload as your interior, okay? Now, if you want to use this, and I know a lot of people are going to want to make this into a vertical page because they will be using KDP, and it's just easier to color in a perfect bound book when it's vertical rather than horizontal. All right. If you do have another source, like if you want to upload this in onto your Etsy shop or your web store or whatever, this is fine because people will be printing this out, so there'll be single pages and you don't have to worry about it being vertical or horizontal. So it's just however you like to do it, right? So now say I do want to make this a vertical coloring page. So what I'm going to do is go back over to my custom slide size, and I'm just going to type in 8.5 by 11 and automatically change the portrait there. Then I'm going to go OK, maximize. Now see how the coloring page and everything is out of that area, right? So this will be cut off. What you want to do is click on this, go over to your picture format, go to crop over here. Okay, now you'll see this come up. You want to come over here, make sure you're on there, and drag it over to where you want it. Now I don't want it all the way to the edge if I'm doing a vertical coloring page. So I'm going to drag it in even a bit more. So it's like about 0.5 or 0.75 there. Then I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. See, you're not distorting the image by doing this because you're actually cropping parts out. If you were just to drag this in, you would then have to go up here and do all that. So once you've got it to where you want it, just click on crop again, and there we have it. Now, because these pages have an outline around them, you're going to be missing this outline here. But you'll still have the one on the top and the bottom. So if you want to make it even, which I do, you click on the picture, go to picture format, go to picture border, and make the color black, and then come down to the weight size, and I would probably put it around 3/4 of a point, or maybe even bigger than that. So wait, 3/4, maybe 1 point. There we go. So that looks cool. So now you have a cropped picture, right? So you want to move it up here. If you want to do this, add whatever you like. You can just make this a bit smaller. The lettering, right? Let's make it 80. You could also make a coloring make the country so that they can color it in if you like, you know. That's totally up to you. I actually really like the way this looks, so I'm going to leave that like that. And then you're just going to want to pull in your fun fact about Amsterdam so that it fits within the borders that you're using. So I move this up a little bit, that up a little bit, because I want to leave space at the bottom so it doesn't get cut off, because I'm not going to make the vertical coloring book full bleed. Okay, I'm going to want it no bleed. So let's see, we can pull that up to there. Pull this out a little more. That's good. And maybe make it a little smaller. So let's do 2018. Yeah. So let's do 18 as the font size, and I'm just going to leave it at Calibri. I find it pretty easy to read. And there you have a really cool vertical coloring page. So it's totally up to you what you want to do with these. I like both. Now, if I was going to do a horizontal, I'd want to do a spiral book, okay? Because then you can just open the book and you don't have to worry about, you know, flattening it down like you do with the KDP coloring books, right? Because you can only get perfect bound. So I hope this helps and gives you some idea what you can do with these coloring pages. I think they're phenomenal. They're just so detailed, and you rarely get this type of adult coloring pages to work with, you know. And these would be awesome in planners or travel journals, just as a little, you know, little page or in between, your planner pages or travel journal page. It's perfect. So you could actually create a travel journal for Amsterdam, Dubai, whatever countries that are in there, right? So that would be awesome. You could have like literally 30 different journals with just these pages. And if you get the upsell to this, there's colored images of these. So you would have the color to put on the cover, right? And if you want to make just a coloring book, then you could just use all the images and in one, because that's 30 pages, it's good enough, and use all those in one coloring book. But if you want to just use one for each of your different assets that you want to create, then you could do an Amsterdam travel journal, a Dubai travel journal, a Turkey travel journal, a Chicago travel journal, and I think that's awesome. And you're really not going to get this type of quality pages for this. I mean, they're really detailed. So anyway, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll get to them as soon as I can.